Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation following.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials, grant them the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, please.
Allen?
Here.
LaFour?
Here.
Mistrovich?
Here.
Rindell?
Here.
Ricks?
Here.
Schultz?
Here.
Warren?
Motion to excuse John Warren from tonight's meeting due to being at work.
So moved.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Approval of minutes for the regular meeting of the City Council on December 18th would be in order.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of December 18th, 2023.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Is there any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to audience comments, which we only have one member in the audience this evening, and you are on the agenda, I see. So I will not go to the audience since there isn't anyone, unless somebody shows up. Adoption of agenda, Mr. City Manager, any changes?
No changes.
City Council, any changes? Motion to accept the agenda as presented would be in order.
So moved.
Support.
Well, it's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Do we have a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support. Motion's been made and supported. Is there any, there is no discussion on the consent agenda according to our rules. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to items for consideration. We have two this evening. The first one is consideration of library service contract with Richmond Township. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to consider approving an agreement for library services between Richmond Township and the City of Richmond, Lois Wagner Memorial Library. This past November 7th, Richmond Township voters approved a renewal of their library millage. And as a result, we've put together this agreement for services outlining what each party is expected to do. It's the same agreement that we've had in place for the previous 5 years with the initial township library millage. And so we updated the dates and the ballot language that was a part of the agreement. It's gone to the township and now coming to the council. The township, with the encouragement of the library, had placed this on their November ballot so that the amount could go out on their winter tax bills for the 2023, which they did put on their tax bills. We anticipate that the millage will provide roughly $63,355 this year.
Great. Julianne, would you like to add anything to any of this?
Just very grateful for the support from the township board as well. They have.
You want to use a microphone so that they can hear at home?
Just a thank you for the township. They, at their board meeting, they have a library portion where one of their trustees does an update, so they're still actively very interested in what we do. And then, of course, we're supportive and opted to put it on their November ballot, despite there being nothing else on there. So very pleased with our working with them, and this next time around will be on an election with a little more items on the ballot. So.
Very good. Yeah. And in this case, maybe refresh our memories also, but in this case, a resident of Richmond Township has the same rights as a City of Richmond resident.
Yes, and most importantly, it gives them access to all of the county resources that our citizens get here. So
Great.
We had always allowed them to use what we have, but with this, they get a lot more, and actually including some state services too, with the Mel Interlibrary loan.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the agreement for library services between Richmond Township and the City of Richmond, Lois Wagner Memorial Library, and authorize city manager to sign the agreement.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Any discussion on this? I'm sure we echo the sentiments from the library director, thanking the Richmond Township voters for supporting our library, and this certainly will help expand our library also, which is much needed, as we have pointed out over the last couple of years. So we thank them again. Anything else? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 2 is consideration of board appointment, Board of Zoning Appeals. Mr. City Manager?
The Board of Zoning Appeals term for Rob Garber had expired, and he did submit his application to be reappointed.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to reappoint Robert Garber to the Board of Zoning Appeals for a 3-year term with expiration date of December 31st, 2026.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Any discussion on this?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'm glad to see that Robert Garber has resubmitted his application. He's been on that board for a while now and really contributes a lot, so I want to thank him for coming back.
Absolutely. Anything else? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Miscellaneous matters from the city manager, sir.
One thing, the staff were able to, City Hall opened up, they roll that out, and we know, and we do have a section of lights out on Main Street on the east side from railroad tracks up to Fire. That has been reported to
Very good. Thank you. We move on to council comments. Jim?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Emily?
Nothing, thank you.
Robert?
All set, thanks.
Dennis?
Nothing tonight.
Michael?
I'm all set, thank you.
And so am I. We'll go to the, well, I will say Happy New Year to everybody. The council's looking forward to working with the administration this year and tackle some issues that come up throughout the year, and some of the goals and objectives hopefully we can obtain this year, working with the administration. I'm sure we can obtain a lot of those for the betterment of our community. Looking forward to it. Otherwise, we go to the calendar, today being the 3rd of January. Excuse me. The library will have a board meeting at 5:30 on Monday. That's over at the library. The Cable Commission will be meeting on the 9th at 6:30 right here at City Hall. And at 7 o'clock, the Recreation Board will be meeting on the 9th. Planning Commission will, is the Planning Commission meeting on the 11th? Okay. Planning Commission meeting will be held on the 11th. Is there a ZBA?
No, there will be one in February, but not January.
Okay. So at 7 o'clock on Thursday, the 11th, the Planning Commission will be getting together. And the next regular city council meeting will be held on the 15th at 7 o'clock right here. We do have a 5:30 workshop with the city council right here at City Hall that's open to the public. Is there anything else that we need to add to the calendar? Move on. There any other business of the city council this evening? A nice short agenda. That was nice after the holidays. Motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. There is no discussion on the adjournment motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Thanks for being with us.